There is a problem today. There really is. Nobody believes what Jesus said. They think they do, but they don't. Oh, I can run into them all day long. They are everywhere. And the thing that I want to know is, have you been raised up? Well, what do you mean, Bob? Have you been raised up? What does raised up mean? Elevated? Raised up. Elevated. Scripture, inspired by God, is profitable. Everyone agrees with that. But what they don't understand is Scripture, inspired by the devil, is not profitable. If Scripture, inspired by the devil, is not profitable, how about words spoken by individuals? All of us speak words unless there's a problem. Every one of us can speak words. Do you agree? I would hope so. There was a man years ago, had plenty of authority given to him to do something. You can read about him. I have a Bible right here. I can read about this man. His name was Saul. That was his name. He was from Tarsus. That's where he was from. If somebody uses my name, Bob McGee, it would have to have related with it of Downsville. Bob McGee of Downsville, because I am Bob McGee of Downsville. I am looking at words written over 2,000 years ago. And it's amazing to me how so many people get messed up just like I get messed up. Well, how do I get messed up? I get messed up listening to the wrong people. That's how I would get messed up. It's probably how you'll get messed up too. But looking at the writings of Saul, he said, Saul is Paul, the writings of Paul. Paul wrote and Paul spoke. I cannot hear Paul of Tarsus speak, and neither can you. Oh, but I can just hear him speaking when I'm reading his words. Really? Wonderful. If that's the way you feel, I hope you understand perfectly well. I do. Because most people don't, but they will tell you they do. Paul wrote to some people, and it's in the book of Colossians. I'm reading from Colossians. I'm looking at Colossians. I've got to understand it correctly, or else I get to be in error. Is that correct? Paul wrote these things. See to it that no one takes you captive. Now, do you understand what takes you captive means? If I were to take you captive, I would become your master. If I took you captive, I could become your master by force. The only way out would be by death. If you were taken captive, the only way that you might get out of captivity is by dying. I'm glad that God made a way a long time ago. And he did it by his son dying between two evil men. God made a way. But I am sure that I can read what Paul has written if it's translated correctly. See to it that no one takes you captive through philosophy and empty deception according to the tradition of men, according to the elementary principles of the world, rather than according to Christ. What does he mean? Rather than according to Christ. The words that Jesus spoke have got to be very important to you and to me for us to be obedient. Paul goes on, when you were dead in your transgressions and in the uncircumcision of your flesh, he made you alive together with him, having forgiven us all our transgressions, having canceled out the certificate of debt consisting of decrees against us, which was hostile to us, and he, having nailed it to the cross, when he had finished, when he had disarmed the rulers and authorities, he made a public display of them, having triumphed over them through him. If you don't understand who him is, and him is, and who's working here, you will never grasp the knowledge of the truth. Let no one act as your judge in regard to food or drink or respect to a festival or a new moon or a Sabbath day, things which are a shadow of what is to come, but the substance belongs to Christ. Let no one keep defrauding you of your prize by delighting in self-abasement and the worship of angels, taking his stand on something he has seen, inflated without cause by his fleshly mind. If you are taken captive by the devil, he becomes your master, and you are in trouble. The only way you can be free is to have God free you. God freed Jesus, and God can free any of us who will believe and act upon his words. If you have died with Christ to the elementary principles of the world, why, as if you were living in the world, do you submit yourself to decrees such as people do? It's what Paul wanted to know. Do not handle, do not taste, do not touch. These are matters which have, to be sure, the appearance of wisdom in self-made religion and self-abasement and severe treatment of the body. No value against fleshly indulgence. If you continue to sin after you know the right thing to do, there is nothing anyone can do for you. There's nothing no one could do for me if I continue to sin after knowing the truth.